Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is July 4th, or also known as 4th of July, or even Independence Day. But today, well yeah, I'm wearing red, white, and blue. Got a Cubs shirt on, and guess what we're going to be talking about today? We're going to be talking about some sports. I'm not really a sports person, but I was inspired to make a sports themed video based on a book I just read, Picture Perfect by Tessa Bailey. And it's a really good book. I liked it a lot. I highly recommend it. But basically, just a little summary of it. I won't give away any spoilers. But basically, it's about a hockey player and a softball pitcher. They fall in love while they're fake dating. And yeah, very cute book. And I'm sorry if you hear the fans going in my room. We got a heat wave in my house right now. Unfortunately, we do not have an air conditioner. So yeah, we had to make do with some fans. We got like 5 or 6 fans in our house. But don't worry, we're going to get an air conditioner eventually. And everyone, please stay cool during this heat wave. And yeah, I know I mentioned this already. I'm not really a big sports fan. I've never been to a baseball game or basketball game, no kind of sports game. I did used to play soccer for, I guess it was like one season when I was in preschool. But apparently I remember signing up, or I remember my parents signing me up for it, and I remember not going to very many practices. And I guess the reason why my brother and I gave my mom when she asked why did we want to sign up for soccer if we didn't go to practice, it was because we just liked the uniforms apparently. But yeah, I did go to Wrigley Field though one time because Brad Paisley had a concert there, my favorite singer ever, my idol. Sorry, I'm dripping sweat right now. And I do have a Brad Wrigley Field shirt. I didn't buy it at the concert because when we were there at the concert, they actually ended up selling out. But thankfully, his website did have them, so I got one in 2012, a few weeks after the concert, and it came before 4th of July that year, so I was able to wear it on 4th of July. But I was wanting to wear that shirt for this video, but unfortunately I just couldn't find it, so I just wore a Cubs shirt. My family, well, not so much now, but growing up, my family, they were big Cubs fans. Well, I still have some family that are Cubs fans, but my mom would watch the Cubs game when I was a kid, and I just found baseball so boring to watch. I'm so sorry, I'm going to offend so many people, I bet. Please don't come at me in the comments, but yeah, my dad, he was a Cubs fan, and he also liked, is it the Royals? That's the Kansas City team. I want to say it was the Royals, but I remember the year he passed away, whatever team he liked, it wasn't the Cubs won the World Series, and then the next year in 2016 the Cubs won the World Series, so I remember thinking my dad had something to do with that from heaven. But yeah, I guess we'll take the focus away from baseball for a minute. Well, actually, not exactly yet. I wanted to show you 2 lip balms that I have. I have more sporty lip balms, but I couldn't find all of them because I'm still unpacking from my move. I know every video I'm saying that I haven't unpacked from my move fully, but yeah, you know, life, it gets in the way sometimes. But anyway, this is a Lipsest lip balm from 2021. Kayla, the girl who owns the company, she has a YouTube channel called Purple Stars O2, and it's a really great channel. I recommend going and watch it. But anyway, she had a ballpark concession themed collection. Well, I think she had 2 of them. She had one that was regular size lip balms, and then one that was a jumbo collection. The flavors were a little bit different for both of them, and I think a few years before that, in like 2019 or something, she did have another baseball themed collection or something like that, and that was a fun collection, but I unfortunately do not have that one, and I don't have the full collection of this ballpark concession themed set. But her jumbo lip balms from that collection, sorry, I don't mean to keep scratching my nose or my face, but I'm dripping sweat right now. But anyway, her jumbo themed collection, she did sell them individually as well as a collection. And I have always liked soft serve ice cream, especially the chocolate and vanilla twist. and I never seen it in a lip balm, but thankfully Kayla came through. She made a soft serve twist ice cream lip balm, and so I got a tip for you if you use lip balm in cold weather to treat your lips, and in case your lip balm is melting, put your lip balm in the freezer for about 15 minutes. Take it out, it's like an icy treat. I just did that before this video, and it's still cold, but it's not, I mean, obviously it's not frozen solid, but it's not as mushy as it was. Alright, so the next lip balm I'm going to show you is from a Lip Smacker collection. They released this one in like either the late 2000s or the early 2010s. That's in the 2009. That's the year I started collecting lip balm. That was at the end of the year of that year. But I very quickly became very much involved in collecting lip balms after that set of 16 that I fell in love with from a company called Lotta Love. But I don't think they're in business anymore. I think it's Taste Beauty now or something. But anyway, or maybe they just don't make lip balms at all anymore. But anyway, this is a Lip Smacker collection. Lip Smacker was once my favorite lip balm brand. It's still one of my favorites, but it's kind of more like maybe fourth or fifth favorite now. There are a few others that take the top few spots. But this is a collection. It was kind of sports themed, but it was also like an SPF lip balm. So basically what it is, it has SPF inside the lip balm. I think it's like SPF 30, I want to say. There were 8 of these lip balms, and I want to say they made a few big of them. They call them, sometimes they call them sun smackers or SPS smackers. They had some of these SPS smackers in the 90s, but this collection is specifically from like the, as I said, the 2000s, 2010s or something like that. But every lip balm had like on the cap, instead of just a flat cap like on this lip balm, it had like a little hook. So if you put your lip balm on a zipper or something, or you know, whatever, it would hook to the zipper, and yeah. So there are 8 lip balms in this collection, and as I said, I think they made maybe a few bigger lip balms, like, or jumbo lip balms, I don't know, maybe I'm dreaming that. But yeah, and they did make that collection too with the flat lids, but I think I only had the ones with the hook. I remember thinking that was really a neat idea, especially if you were someone who played a sport or on a sports team or something. But there were 8 lip balms, and they were themed around different sports. Like, one was baseball, one was ice hockey, basketball, soccer. Soccer one was a kiwi berry, so I couldn't really wear that one a whole lot once I became allergic to kiwi. Watermelon wave, which was a kind of like a surfing themed one, although that I don't think was part of the collection per se. It was part of the flat top or flat cap lip balms, I guess I'll call it that. And yeah, maybe there was I'm trying to think what else there was, but it was different sports like that basically. And because I'm not fully unpacked from moving, I haven't come across all my sporty smackers, but there was one that it appeared, it was the only sporty smacker that I found since I've moved in. It fell in the, when I was bringing my stuff up in this room, a box of lip balm, or there were some lip balms in one of the boxes, and it fell out, and it was the only sporty one. And there's where'd it go? Okay, as you can see, I'll show you here. Okay, this is what I mean with you see what I'm talking about with the hook on the cap? Well, I got a light here, as you can see, and it's got a string. You pull it, and oh, here it is on the floor. It does fall off from time to time, so I'll put it back on here. And sometimes I will just kind of like swing it back and forth, play with it, do like that. I normally do that when I'm hanging out up here at nighttime. I haven't been doing that much lately because it's been very hot, and I think heat just rises in general because at my old house, it would always be much, much hotter upstairs than it was on the main level. But yeah, that's a Sporty Smacker and a Lipsest. And I'm going to show you something else sport themed. Now, as a kid, I loved Bratz dolls. They had a line called Bratz Play Sports, and each doll, I think I had the Chloe doll when I was a kid, but I don't remember what sport she played. I just remember Chloe's my favorite, so anytime I got a Bratz doll, it was usually Chloe. But as a kid, I don't remember what sport Chloe played. I don't know if they released a Chloe doll too, because they re-released this line with a few of the dolls, and I'm going to show you the one I have. This is Roxy, and she's a soccer player. And let me show you what all she came with. Roxy's actually got a twin sister named Phoebe. I don't know if Phoebe's part of the line too, but I remember as a kid, Phoebe and Roxy were the twins, and well, they had a few different lines of twin dolls, but Phoebe and Roxy were the OGs, and I remember wanting them. I had the baby version, but I never had the full-size version, but you know, it's all good. Roxy also comes with a soccer ball. And I got her at Walmart, by the way, back in January. And then she comes with a soccer championship trophy, because her team won the game. And I do kind of like to make Roxy play soccer. Like, I'll put the ball on a flat surface. I don't really have a flat surface to show you now, but she'll kind of kick the ball. And I have some, I don't think I've showed you these frozen yogurt lip balms, but I've made it where her team won, so when they win, they go out for frozen yogurt, and the lip balm is the yogurt she gets. But yeah, that's Miss Roxy. And so we talked about Picture Perfect, the book, earlier. And speaking of books, I have 2 books. I'm not going to read the full book, obviously, because it's going to take too much time. I think I've showed both of these on the channel before. We have Slumber Wanders by American Girl, and then we have Friendship Forever Fun from Scholastic. This was out in 2000. I think it was one of those Scholastic Book Fair books, or one of those mail order books that they would have at schools. I don't know if they do that now still, but basically you would get or at my school I went to when I was a kid going to private school in the 2000s, basically they would give you a paper or a pamphlet with the books available. You would pick the ones you want, and then your parents would order it, and then a few weeks later you get the books. But anyway, so this one, American Girl, I've read from this one before, I think, or maybe I haven't. I know I've read from Snoozapalooza multiple times. But basically, this is a book of slumber party ideas, and in the back of this book, they have some smaller party ideas. It's not as elaborate as the other 7 or 8 they have, but this is for a pep rally. This is kind of sporty, so I figured, you know, it would fit in with this video just perfectly. Alright, so this is the pep rally idea, and this is for a sleepover. You could probably kind of make it for a regular party if you're not really into sleepovers. Pep rally. Invite your team over to show some spirit. Set the stage with streamers and balloons in your team colors. Make spirited hairband, by tying strips of ribbon in your team colors to an elastic band. Create a cheer that will energize the team before the next big game or competition. Whoop. Alright, so let me show you that as I do in true me fashion. And you can pause it and read it if you need to. Alright. And this one, I know I've read from this book at least once on this channel, but this is a book about ideas that you can do with your friends, and as I said, it was from the 2000s. They have all kinds of ideas. I think the one I read before was about magic tricks, because I did like a magic theme video a while back. They have craft ideas, cooking ideas. I gotta fix this book because it's like flapping open from the fan. Stay. But there's one chapter exclusively given to sports called Getting Sporty. It's chapter 5. It's about 8 pages, so it's going to be a little bit long, so bear with me. Okay, let's get started. Getting Sporty. Let the athlete in you shine by playing these sports activities with your friends. Okay, this is a basketball game called Horse. You may have played it before, but I'm going to read it in case you haven't and are interested. If you have access to a basketball and a basketball hoop, then you can play the game of Horse. We actually have a basketball hoop in our now dining room. It used to be our living room when we moved in. It kind of came with, it's not a full-on basketball hoop. It's just a rim, and there's no netting on it, but yeah, it's pretty cool. It kind of sold me on the house. I don't know why, because I haven't used it, but I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna get a plushie basketball. Anyway, back to reading. Before you start to play, decide your lineup by selecting who goes first and in what order the others will follow. The first person then selects I just want to make sure we're still recording. A spot anywhere in front of the hoop and tries to shoot the ball into the basket. She can do it underhand, overhand, or even standing backward. If she makes it, each player in line behind her must attempt to make the shot from the same spot and in the same way. If a player fails, she gets the letter H. After everyone has a turn, the first player gets to go again and must come up with another shot for the others to try. If she misses her shot, the second player gets to start and the first player goes to the end of the line. The second player then picks a spot to shoot from, and if she misses, the third player tries, then the fourth, and so on until one makes it. Anytime a player misses a shot, she gets a letter in order from the word horse. Once a girl loses enough shots to spell horse, she's out of the game. Play continues until there's one player left, the winner. Alright, so I'm going to show you that one, and again, if you need to pause and read it, you may. Okay, and then this is the continuation of that. I know it might be a little blurry, sorry about that. Soccer is the next sport, and this is called crab soccer. This game of soccer looks a little silly, which makes it even more fun to play. All you need is a grassy area that's free of trees and a soccer ball. You'll also need a way to create the goalposts, such as marking off an area on each side of the field with stones, sticks, or other objects. Decide beforehand which areas are out of bounds. Choose players for the two teams. Place the ball in the center of the field between the players. Get in the crab position. Each player must lie on her back and bend her knees to the ground, then prop herself up with her hands. Everyone must move like a crab with their hands and feet during the whole game. Have someone yell, "Go!" Each team then tries to get the ball in the opponent's goal by using only their feet to move the ball forward. Select a number of points that a team must get in order to win, and then play until the first team reaches that number. Alright, so here's that part, and then the rest of that, and then as you can see, the next game is softball, yes. And this game is called Pickle. You and two friends can see how well you dodge between two bases by playing the game of Pickle. You'll need two softball gloves and a softball, as well as items to use as bases, such as two old pillowcases or doormats. To play, first set up your two bases about the length of the school bus, apart or a shorter distance depending on what you're comfortable with. Decide what's out of bounds so that a person running from base to base can't stray too far away. Select two players to be the fielders. They stand on the bases with the gloves and the ball. The third player, the runner, will try to run from one base to the other without being caught. The runner starts on the base opposite the girl who's holding the ball. The two fielders then toss the ball back and forth to each other. Whenever she's ready, the runner can start from the base she's standing on to the other. Start to run, I should say. She might want to wait until one fielder misses the ball to get a good head start. If she gets caught in the middle, the pickle begins. The fielder holding the ball must try to tag the runner out or throw the ball to the other fielder to prevent the runner from reaching her base. When the runner finally is tagged out, she becomes a fielder and switches places with the girl who tagged her out. So this one's a little bit longer. So, okay, that's where it begins. And that, I'm trying to hold it where you can see all of it. And then that top portion. And inline skating obstacle course is the next activity. If you love to inline skate, otherwise called rollerblading, you'll love the extra challenge involved when you and your friends come up with obstacles to avoid. You'll need a large paved area to skate in that's free from cars or other dangers. You also need different colored chalk to draw on the ground. And of course you'll need the protective gear you normally wear when you skate, including a helmet, knee guards, elbow guards, and wrist guards. Decide first what the colors of chalk mean. Pick blue, for instance, to show the boundaries of the course or the lines you must be within to stay in the game. Be sure the lines are far enough apart so you have room to skate. You can draw circles of red that must be avoided by either skating around them or jumping over them. I can't imagine the disaster that would be me jumping with skates on. Finally, you can block off sections in yellow which indicate areas that you must skate over on one foot or squatted down. For an added challenge, you can even place a ball within the boundaries that you must try to pick up while completing the course. Don't forget to mark a start and finish point on your obstacle course. Once you're done creating the course, take turns trying to complete it by staying in balance, avoiding the obstacles, and following the other rules of the course, so you can get through the course first without making a mistake. Okay. Here's that. And there's that. So I'm trying to put over it so you can read it. Last game is volleyball, monkey in the middle. I'm sorry, guys. Excuse me. You and two friends can play this game with a football or another large soft ball. To start, select a player to be in the middle. Your two players stand about 2 body lengths apart and begin throwing the ball back and forth to each other. The object of the game is for the girl in the middle to intercept the ball by getting away from the other two without touching them. To keep her from doing this, the other two can throw the ball high in the air to each other. They also need to be sure and catch the ball, otherwise the girl in the middle can intercept it by getting to it first. Whoever doesn't catch the ball and lets it get away must then go in the middle and try to intercept the ball from the other two players. I do like playing volleyball sometimes. I've played tennis before, I think one time. That was pretty fun. Okay, that's the last game. The next 2 pages I'm not going to read out loud. I'll just kind of put them up there. It's basically about not being a sore loser, playing fairly, that type of thing. So if you want to pause it and read it, you may. And then there's that one. And I don't think I mentioned this, but I did get this book at a thrift store many years ago. And yeah, I hadn't seen it before, but yeah, it's a fun book. So that's it for the sports video. I do want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a safe and happy 4th of July or Independence Day if you celebrate. And you guys take care, and I'll talk to you guys very soon, and make sure you stay cool and hydrated. Bye guys.